Hey everybody, it's the Iron Sun, and I got a topic to talk about. It's called communication is key. So a lot of times, people will say communication is extremely important for relationships, and they'll say communicating with people is what's going to keep the relationship going. In my opinion, this is kind of a not necessarily true, but it's also true at the same time. It's complicated, and I think what complicates it is that a lot of times people come into relationships with covert contracts. I think this is especially true for women. They come into relationships expecting. They come into the relationship expecting the male to uh, uh, to be something or do something, so they're bringing expectations, and that's kind of what causes the unhappiness in a lot of relationships, because you have either the male or the woman. They'll come into the relationship and they'll expect their mate to live up to something or not do something, or to change something about themselves, and they'll end up wanting to break up the relationship. It could be like a perfectly decent relationship, just breaking it up just because they can't let the expectations go. But the communication is key. Why I say it's not necessarily true is because when the person is telling you, and this is especially the case for a woman, when she's telling you something that she doesn't like about you, and then you change it, this could actually have the effect of making you even less attractive to her. So uh, the expectations that she has can actually sabotage the relationship. Um, One thing I would say, or a couple of things I would say that goes along with that, as I said, are covert contracts, covert resentments, covert expectations. So in general, just covert expectations. And a lot of times on a woman's side, there's a lack of accountability as to her part and why the relationship is starting to go out. For example, there's some women that they'll withhold sex from their partners, but then they'll wonder why their partners aren't treating them good. They'll wonder why their partners aren't taking them out to dinners, not buying them flowers, not having a good time with them and stuff like that. And it's literally the equivalent of like it's literally the equivalent of like having, like, let's just say you own a Belgian Malinois, right? And you don't feed it very often, and you're expecting it to want to go and chase the ball, and the dog is tired, and it's thin, so it can't jump as fast. It can't it can't run it can't jump as high, it can't run as fast, and the dog is pretty much just tired. Meanwhile, the owner's getting angry at the dog for not doing what dogs do. It's come on, like, come, he or she is like, come on, I know you can do this. I really wish you would. And, they're setting that expectation for their companion or their dog to meet that level or exceed it. But then the dog's not being given tools to succeed. A lot of times, men and women, we don't give each other the tools to succeed, and we don't simplify our needs, and we don't express our needs, and we kind of keep these covert contracts and these covert expectations. Meanwhile, our partner's smiling, and they're trying to do the best they can, and they're looking at us, but they don't know that we secretly hate them inside. Um, so yeah, that's my spiel on that. Communication. So, by the way, communication is important, but it's only important when the covert contracts and the covert entitlements are brought to the surface, so that you can actually dissolve any resentment, and so that people can actually move forward. uh, yeah, communication is important.